That's right. Get that music out of here.
Might have jumped on a little early.
Hey, everybody.
Man, I'll tell
Welcome
you
back
what,
to another Turf Tuesdays with Keep Off the Grass Livecast.
I missed that music last week. I will say that.
Yeah.
It just gets the blood flowing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You're not kidding.
So,
That's
Coming in
that's a
loud and clear.
jam. We should figure out who actually wrote that, and then we should probably just buy the rights to it.
His name's Chris Shards.
Shards. He's sharded.
Yep.
Oh.
He's it's called flight mode.
Nice.
I've heard it on some YouTube videos before, but it's still ours.
Nice. Yeah, it's synonymous. You hear our name, you hear that music. It's just the connection. So chat, it's getting active. I see about 31 people. It's just starting to climb up. But the problem is I'm not seeing many thumbs up. So get out of the live chat, hit the thumbs up, get back in the live chat. Let's roll.
Done deal.
Bad boy. Who we got? Who was first tonight? Who'd you guys see?
Haven't even looked at the live chat yet.
I got Alex Carney's number one. So LTZ, Bearded Lawn Dude, Nick Home Turf Consulting, Papa, I think he's on vacation. I saw he might be on vacation. So being on vacation and tuning in, that's a win-win right there.
That's dedication. That's dedication. We appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir. Naughty Lawn, El Presidente, Andrew from Lansing has joined us. So
Drew's here.
thanks.
He was just asking me. He's doing like a little thing at a brewery in South Jersey on Friday night. They were asking me about like, oh, are you gonna be able to come? And he was like, hey, come join us for beers. I'm like, man, it's a hike for me. So
How far to drive is it?
Like 2 hours from New York, man. So it's and it's like 4 to 6. So I'm gonna see if maybe I can like figure out a way to sneak out of work early or something like that. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna try. We'll see.
You gotta find a way to convince the wife, like, hey, let's just go down here for like, let's try this new restaurant or try this new brewery. And then all of a sudden you walk in, you're like, oh, what are you guys doing here?
Oh, who are you guys? She'll be like, why are we driving all the way down there? Yeah.
Andrew, you gotta come back on soon.
Yes. Andrew
maybe
is
even be a surprise guest again. I think
Andrew's
that was pretty funny that one time.
was the best when he just popped on. That was one of my favorite moments in the most recent episodes. That was in the last couple months. That was one of my favorite moments. Drew just popping on.
Yeah.
So
you got a PBA card.
Well,
You know what that
first
is.
things first. Have
Yeah.
a glass.
I don't have a beer tonight.
I got to get another one.
Since Brian's gone, I just got the old Mountain Dew for Brian.
I got a
Pour one
fresh
out.
bottle of whiskey. I've been
See that?
looking for this bottle of whiskey for the better part of a year. And well, it's allocation season and it just found them. So I'm gonna just found one. Took some
Allocation season?
What's that?
Would you say it's what season?
Allocation season. So like certain bourbons will be allocated. Like they don't make a whole load of them. Like they don't just make a lot of them. So the
Okay.
bottles are allocated, and it's like every store, every distributor only gets like so many, right? So then, it just depends on then where it goes from the distributor to the individual stores. And it's like, store might only get like 10 bottles of something. So it's like, you got to know when they're going to drop and if they're going to get them. And it's a whole thing. But like one of my buddies had a line on some. So he's like, yeah, I got one over here. I'll save one for you. So
Is that the same stuff that you took a shot of when we were in Kentucky for like $35 or something?
it is. That was a different bottle, but yeah, it was a E.H. Taylor. That was the Warehouse C, and it was a tornado survivor. So I could explain all that another time, but yeah, basically that was a $40 shot of a similar whiskey. Same label, but different bottle. But this is a single barrel. So anyway,
I bought a whole 30 pack of Busch Light while you're taking a shot, and I was still money ahead.
Yes, you were.
There's a reason for that.
Yeah,
That was
That's
like in
why
the
we
morning
let
too,
that
wasn't
ride
it?
on the. That's the reason we let that ride on the back of the truck with no
You
strap.
remember that picture of you with that 25 ouncer just chugging? Yeah, I would get up and leave. That's what I thought. What?
No,
Anyways.
Brent, when you did that, wasn't it like in the morning too? It was like before GIE. It was
Yeah,
like,
yeah. We walked around to like one of the liquor stores. A lot of liquor stores have little bars in them in Louisville, so you can taste test some whiskeys. So we just went to this liquor store and they had a whole thing, and I saw one up there. I was like, oh snap! Like, I gotta try that. Like, I don't care what it costs. I gotta at least have it, because I mean the bottle of it is so just outlandishly expensive. But yeah, this is a single barrel. So single barrel EH Taylor. It's been hunting for it. Finally got my hands on one. So, I'm gonna crack this open with you guys and have a little sip here.
So just curious, and I don't know if you
let's
want
kick
to
this thing off.
Look at this guy. He's getting ready to renovate something.
Let's kick this thing
Oh
off.
my god!
I think he's using nitrogen source.
Is that the Forefathers
special-
advertisement?
That's quick release nitrogen.
Nate, is your hair that long?
Oh, that ain't me, bro.
Oh, okay.
It's not. I
That
thought
is
that was
definitely not me.
I thought that was
Okay.
you and your
That
forefathers.
I thought it was you too.
is definitely El Presidente.
Oh, yeah.
That's drunk lawn guy, dude.
God bless America. That
When you
makes
sent it in
sense
your
now.
picture stack. You sent it that picture like it was like your lawn, the seed you're using this, and then it was like this picture and then a bunch of other pictures.
I
And
know.
just thought it was you.
I purposely sent you
Oh,
because I knew
goodness.
you'd use it tonight.
Yeah, that thing is. Wow, that's something special. That's something special.
That's great.
So
Man.
You get a little tan on them cheeks.
Yeah, well,
I thought I saw a little skid mark.
mhm.
Jesus.
Oh man.
Ugh.
Oh, there a skid mark
Curious.
in there.
He had some serious tacos right before that.
Landing strip.
Watch out.
I want to see Forefathers use that as an ad.
That might be a little off brand for them. I mean, maybe.
No, you're telling me that how much more dad life is that than pissing in the woods wearing
Okay.
your dad mowing polo?
All right.
That's what I
That's-
like wearing in the country. I piss
You're not
everywhere
wrong.
out here.
I think he was golfing actually. I think that's what it was. I think he was golfing.
Yeah.
Must have hooked one over in the weeds and went to find his ball and well I'm here, might as well take a little piss. Yep. His comment was I was drunk on the golf course.
There,
So-
and there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. And for the ladies, I apologize for my friends here.
So what's going on, Nate? You seeded a baseball field, and then you overseeded
Yeah.
your lawn.
yeah, so
You had a play set, and it got ripped up. And
so I got
now,
two.
yeah.
I got two projects kind of going on that I'm working on, as you alluded to. So, the weekend before Labor Day, Saturday, we had some rain in the forecast. So, and I've been working on this project for a couple of years, actually. Oh, probably a full year. And tried doing it last fall, couldn't pull it off. But timing wise, we just couldn't get together. And there's a lot of people that use the fields besides just the high school. So this is actually the girls' softball field. So we had a girl that watched our kids quite a bit. She was a senior and played on the team. So we'd go watch some of the games. And after the game, one of the games I was watching, it was just kind of like, oh, I want to go check out the field and to see what it looks like. And I'd asked the coach and the groundskeeper, I'm like, hey, like, can I come out and stripe this field prior to your guys' playoff game? And they're like, yeah, no problem. So I did that. And then I kind of was like, we should invest in this field and get it looking a little bit better. So last year, Mountain View had sent me some 365 for this project. And like I said, we didn't get to it last year. So I kind of just had it in the basement. And then this year we were able to get things lined up. I started working on it in March, started lining up with the coaches, started talking to everyone and saying, here's your timeline, here's the weekend, here's, how I want to do everything. And so then we loaded up. That was just a partial picture, but I mean, we loaded up my mower, we loaded up the Landsy compost spreader, leveling rake. What else did we have out there? We had a aerator, we had the dethatcher, we had all kinds of tools that we used and took it out there and did the typical process of the first thing we did is we had the field mowing it, mowed it down, kept it at like 2 inches, probably for maybe even a little bit lower, but kept it there for a couple weeks. And we went out, dethatched it. I got the short end of the shaft here because we were, yeah, because
Yeah.
I had my mower, and so I got my 30-inch mower out there, push mowing, picking up all the detached clippings and everything, while the other guy just has it hooked up to the back of the John Deere, and pulling everything. So I was, walking everything, did that, and the outfield on a softball field is exactly 25,000 square foot. So numbers wise, it lines up pretty good with, calculating what you need and all that stuff.
So you push mode to clean up all the
Yeah, I
detach
picked
and
up,
shit.
yeah, I sucked it all up, and we threw it in a trailer and went and dumped it all. But actually, we didn't pull up a ton. We weren't hugely aggressive, but I'll also say that the field was fairly thin. So there wasn't a ton of thatch to pull up. But yeah, we pulled it all up, aerated it. Didn't have enough weight, so I literally like stood on the aerator like the whole time and just rode on it the whole time as we aerated it. Pulled some really, really, really good cores, and then we put down the seed. And then after that, literally like that night it rained, and the next day it rained. We got their irrigation all kind of dialed in for the, like at 8 o'clock, noon, and 4 o'clock for like 8 minutes. So it's just kind of keeping it wet, did all that. And then I went out there last Friday, checked on it. We'd sprayed that gallon there of Simple On Solutions Growth Booster. We sprayed that down, put that on there. And this week, we're probably, I'm not sure what we're going to put down. I got a couple different things. Maybe throw some seaweed with some humic on it. I know there's some humic in that growth booster, but I want to probably throw some, I want to be pretty aggressive this fall with trying to throw, at least 2 pounds of nitrogen on it between now and probably 1st of November is probably my, so we're only looking about 6 weeks. So we're going to get some granular fertilizer. I had a decent amount of Pro Pete in my garage that I was planning on using this fall. But I kind of, in order to make this project successful, I gave them that. So we're going to put that down here probably next week is what I was thinking. About every 2 weeks, every 2.5 weeks is kind of the plan. My goal is, that Halloween time, prior to that, we'll get some iron on it, get it mowing, and have it looking freaking really good, really good. And then next spring, get out there and start working on it next spring as well. So
that's gonna look so sick, though.
Yeah, that's kind of the plan with that. So I got some different. I've talked to a couple different companies and just kind of said, hey, are you guys willing to kind of help out with this? And it's a cool project. And also actually look at maybe some like banners to hang on the field with some of the brands that we're using. So I think that'd be really cool. This field is powered or brought to you by whether it be Simple Ons or Pro Pete or Turf Titan or Landsy or whatever partners we have to have some banners up there. I think that'd be super cool.
That'd be awesome.
But yeah, so I got that going, and so that's kind of my side project I've been working on. And then also at home, as you mentioned, my swing set, that thing was my arch nemesis when I was mowing, because I always had to go like through it and around it and trim it. It was just getting to the point where it was here when we moved in, and kind of convinced the wife that it was starting to get unsafe for the kids. So we ended up getting rid of it. And so then that sprung this area that's, got a whole bunch of dead spots underneath the swings and the slides and all that, monkey bars. So bought a whole bunch of dirt, leveled it out, and did the typical, project at home as well. Did all that in one weekend. Did the high school field on Saturday, came home, worked on mine Saturday night, and then turned around Sunday, worked on it, and stuff's starting to come in pretty good. I overseeded it with the same thing that I've got in the rest of my yard, as basically a 50-50 mix of the 365 SS from Mountain View Seeds and also the Grand Slam GLD from it's a perennial rye from Mountain View as well. So I put a mix on there of that, and honestly,
here, bro.
Meister says a right hand turn down there at the end.
That's
it's like a banana stripe.
I'll tell you.
Around it.
I'll tell you, I've never mowed all the way across the yard because the swing set's always been in the middle. And there's definitely some challenges with not letting her curve off at the end. I'll tell you that. That's true.
Mister hashtag keep them straight.
And the other thing, like,
he's got a right hook.
Yeah, that's Mr. Curvy.
He hooks to the right a little.
I've talked about this before too. Like like I have my pattern and everything, and like where I usually start in the front of the lawn, and I work myself to the back, and just where I turn and I do everything, like it doesn't perfectly line up with anything. And so like in the middle of the yard, which you can't see it here because it's like behind me. And I don't think my yard is perfectly square. So that's the other thing that messes with me. I swear my house sits at like a cockeyed angle compared to the property. So like when I mow, it's not 90 degrees compared to the property. So when I mow, I think I'm pulling a straight stripe, and all of a sudden I get to the side of the house. And I'm like, that stripe goes right into the side of the house. And so as I start on one side and get to the other side, and I gotta fix that next spring, and maybe just start at the house and work my way out versus
working on the side of the house. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Versus the property line and working across the house. So, but yeah, I mean, honestly, like from a drone, I've never even noticed it from the drone because the stripes all look perfectly straight. But then, like I said, when you all of a sudden when you hit it, it's like, like the house definitely does not sit perpendicular to the property. So that's some adjustments. But yeah, everything's coming in good. I got some concerns with the front yard. I did so that's one spot I did in the back. I actually did a really big area that I rarely ever, it never shows up on pictures because it's like in the corner of my house. It's always been a low spot. It's always been like a dead spot. Just grass has never grown there. And so I'd actually bought a whole bunch of dirt and tried to level it out and put some seed down there. And it's not wanting to grow. So I don't know. I may have to just throw some rye on it and see if that'll take, because right now, I mean, I'm seeing a little bit of germination, but I think it's just such a compacted area because I can't get in there, to like aerate it and do everything. So I think it's just a compacted area that just doesn't get much attention and whatnot, but we'll see how it turns out. I'd like to get some grass in there, but if it doesn't,
it's my trees.
No, it's up against my house. It's
how big of a spot?
Oh shit, nothing more than like the size of like a kitchen island, like a dinner table. So maybe
get out there with the drill. Get out there with the drill and start poking holes.
The biggest thing is, like I said, I tried leveling it, and it still probably needs more work. Probably needs some more dirt in it. So it's just, I don't know. It was so low to start with, and it really hasn't been like a huge priority, honestly, because like I said, it's kind of it's in like a little, jaded area of like the corner of the house on the back side. But yeah, so that's kind of what I'm working on. I got a couple smaller spots in the front yard that I threw some soil on, tried leveling out and whatnot, and that's slowly coming in. It's bluegrass, so eventually it'll fill in, but make me nervous for about a month until it slowly comes in.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
But
And you've mowed and everything. You're still mowing.
yeah, well, yeah, I've those areas that so I oversee the entire thing, and I waited 12 days, which I know is not the popular decision. I had germination at like probably 8 days, and so I set the mower really, really high and went over it as quick as I could, just because it was getting out of control. But then those areas where I got the fresh dirt and everything, I stayed off of those. I'm going around all that stuff, but everything else, like I basically had to. I mean, it'd be shit 8 inches probably by now if I didn't. So 'cause it's actually growing. I mean, I could probably mow every other day right now. So with these temperatures we got, I mean, we're getting down to the like 40s and 50s at night, and like 70s during the day. So it's
prime time.
It's just, I mean, the one time I did mow, it's basically like a flush going on right now because I'm turning around and leaving the wheel marks and the sidewalk and everything. So
that's sweet though. Yeah, I was saying before we went live and before you hopped on that I went over my front yard. I had to mow it, but I have the benefit of having a small front yard, so I use my little push reel mower to do it because I was like, I don't want to put my mower on it and risk sucking up any seeds or dislodging them and stuff. Yeah. So I just went over everything with my little reel mower just to take a little bit off the top because it was starting to get a little long. I was like, nah, man, I'm doing the 365. So I want to make sure that it's getting, sunlight and getting water and air and everything else. I was like, no, I want to keep it low, even though I also want everything to grow back because I beat the crap out of it. But
is that what you did? Is overseed full with 365?
Yeah, bro.
You didn't just do that one section. You did the entire yard.
Yeah, so rescue. Yeah, so I did the side yard that I did is I cut that down, leveled it out because that was where the fence company had screwed up my grass. Yep. So I had to like do something to kind of like level all that out and like pull it back because they cut down into my lawn, the swing path at the gate, which I showed on Instagram. And so I wanted to try to like level all that stuff out. So I went ahead and did, So I tried to level all that stuff out. So the property line, as you can see, is like right where that gate is. That's the property line. So I talked to my neighbor and I was like, hey, this is kind of a low spot anyway. We get like water kind of sitting like right on the property line. So I was like, listen, I want to pull some of this dirt away from my house because it was actually like a really steep grade, like going up to my house. It was like a hill almost, like a tiny little hill. So I was like, I'm going to till all this up. I want to level it out and pull some of this soil out. And I was like, I'll seed whatever I, pull onto your yard. I mean, he's not like a big lawn guy. I mean, he takes care of his yard, but he's not like a huge lawn guy. He's like, I don't care. Like, yeah. I was like, all right, I'll replant, just fescue over there. So I just did like, literally I did that, tilled it up and, leveled it all out. And then, I just went with the straight 365 on my side. So right now I drew a line, like I drew the property line in the dirt and I did like a tall fescue bluegrass mix on his side of the property line, which that stuff is like, that took off. That is like almost fully established. He already mowed it this past weekend.
Is it like from the brick to the building or to the house? I mean, is it from like that, where that brick starts or where's the property line at?
Where the brick starts. So like right where I'm standing, like right where the picture's taken from is the property line. So in between the solid fence and the gate is the property line. So that's like his fences on the right, and then that's my gate. Oh. So
okay,
the brick's like my.
I was looking at it opposite. Okay.
Yeah, the brick is my chimney. So like, where the gate is directly to where I took the picture from, that's the property line. So I just drew literally a line in the dirt and everything to the right, like over by the solid fence on that side, that was all like a turf type tall fescue, Kentucky bluegrass mix. That is my whole lawn that's a Mountain View Seeds, product from Tuckahoe. It's a blend that they did. And then on the right, like against my house, that I just did straight 365. Yeah, so there you can kind of see, like I had to tarp it off because we got
his yard's looking dark though.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good over there. It's dark. He's got some clover and some other stuff over there. He's not really too worried about like clover patches and stuff. I mean, he mows low. I always keep telling him, I'm like, no, mow higher and we'll like, get that stuff out of there. But it's all good. So I got like a wicked rainstorm like 2 days after I put the seed down, 3 days after I put the seed down. So I ran out there with some like, just some plastic and tarped it off, try to avoid some of the washout. There was a little washout still, but for the most part, like that did the trick. I mean, it was a wicked rainstorm. I had 2 really bad ones and I tarped it off for both of them.
Good use of your garbage can.
Yeah, use my garbage can and some bricks to weigh it down. My dog's poking her head out. Yeah. She's over there. But yeah, just use that cheap plastic, that cheap drop cloth plastic from Home Depot. I had some of it hanging around, so I was like, "Yeah, this will work perfectly." It was just about the right width. But yeah, everything from the gate, like over on his side of the property line, that is all like established. I'll post a picture of it tomorrow. I'll take a picture in the morning in daylight. But that's all established. It looks freaking great. It's like a beautiful dark green color, and the 365 is coming in awesome. It's still a little patchy. I mean, it's bluegrass. It's taking some time, but I will say, like, I pulled up this morning. Yeah, that was about a week ago. I mean, that it started taking off like really good.
You can see like the line where you did do it. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Did you do it by hand? Like, did you just?
Yeah. I like right where the line is. I went through by hand and like all along the line, and then
that's pretty cool.
actually seeded all of it, you know, with like a solo cup, because I wanted to make sure that I was keeping that line established. So I actually seeded that whole side, and, you know, my side as well. I just seeded everything with like a solo cup and just kind of like doing like a little kind of like swirl motion with it to just get it like popping out the top. I figured, why not? We'll try that out. Because I knew if I just put my spreader in there, I mean, that my area, like from my house to the property line, is not long, not wide at all. I mean, that's really only like 7 feet maybe. Because I mean, actually, yeah, probably 6, and because I put a 5-foot gate in, so it's probably like 6 feet from my house to the property line. It's probably 6 feet. So it's not a very big area. So I just seeded it by hand. But when I pulled in the driveway tonight after work and got home, like from a distance, I looked at it and it just looks freaking awesome. So
I don't have that one. I don't know why I don't.
But yeah, so then for the rest of my yard, you know, with I had a lot of, you know, yeah, that was earlier tonight. I just ran out real quick because I didn't have a daylight picture, but I ran out there with a flashlight, tried to take a little picture, throw up. So it was a little something. So a little light closer to the house, but everything else, I mean, it's looking really, and that's where most of the washout was kind of closer to the house and like towards where I was standing toward the end of the driveway. Dude, it's, I mean,
No, it
I'll
looks
tell you
good.
what, it's coming in so good. Like when you drive by on the street or when you pull in the driveway, it literally looks like it's all filled in. I mean, when you stand right over it, obviously you see that it's patchy and brand new, but it looks like a carpet. It looks really great. So, and then yeah, for the rest of my yard, I did on Labor Day, morning of Labor Day. I went through and you know, I scalped the crap out of it, man. Like I took it down. That was right after I did it. That's like maybe an inch. And I'd like triple cut it. I took it, you know, tried to get everything out of there because I kind of gave up on watering, I don't know, midway through July. I was like, I just didn't have time to like be on top of it. And like, I just said, you know what, like whatever, if it goes dormant, it goes dormant. I don't really care. But so you can see there's a lot of dormancy in there still, and everything's kind of brown, but I mean, I scalped the crap out of that. That thing was like maybe an inch. It was all just, you know, brown stalks. You know, fertilized it, overseeded it with the 365 and on all the spots, like yeah, and that was like maybe a week. That wasn't even a week later. That was actually, I think I took that. Yeah, it was probably about a week. I think I took that the next Labor Day was a Monday. I think I took that the next Monday or Tuesday after that. So I think that was a week ago today. So it started greening up and filling in like pretty good. And then by this past Sunday, it was already getting long. And I was like, I gotta push, you know, use my push reel mower. And I noticed today when I got home that I'm starting to see some germination in all those areas where it was like down to the dirt and, you know, a lot of crap pulled up. So it's looking good, man. I'm feeling strong about it. And I cannot wait to see, you know, in another month or so, I can't wait to see what it's going to look like. And, you know, kind of like Nate, I'm going to try to spoon feed it, hit it with keep hitting it with a little nitrogen here and there and, you know, get it cranking.
Are you going to try and keep it lower now that you're going from fescue to bluegrass?
Yeah, that's the reason I wanted to do it is, you know, I like the fescue. I like the look of it. I think it, you know, I like having it long. My wife wants to have it a little bit lower. You know, my kids are like, oh, we want to go out and, you know, they play soccer. So they want to get out and, you know, kick soccer balls and, you know, they still can, but, I was like, all right, you know, maybe next year I'd like to try to keep it a little bit lower. You know, I usually mow somewhere around like 3 to 3.5 inches. And so I'm like, all right, if I could try to get down to like 2 to 2.5, you know, that'd make it a lot more fun for them in terms of like, you know, playing soccer and stuff like that. So we'll see. I mean, we'll see how it takes and we'll see, you know, how much I can really get it to fill in. But I'm like, if I can overseed with that like 2 years in a row, if I do it now, do it next year, I think I could get some really good bluegrass establishment in there and, you know, kind of go with a lower mow.
It's going to take more water next summer. you're gonna notice you're gonna have to put a lot more water into it, or you're gonna have to get ahead of the summer heat and whatnot, because bluegrass is not very, I mean, it's temperamental. Your fescue's got a lot higher chance of surviving than your bluegrass does. It'll come back, but I think you'll notice it check out a little bit earlier.
Well, I think that's why people with tall fescue, they like to add in bluegrass to it, because like the fescue can kind of shade it and kind of maybe keep it going longer than a typical like KBG lawn or a ryegrass within the drought.
Yeah, but like to your point, Brent, like my wife kind of said the same thing as far as the lawn. She's like, you know, I when I cut it down to like 2 inches before I was gonna do my dethatching and all that. She's like, I actually like that better. And I'm like, God dang it. You know, and I'm like, but you know, and like I like the way it is, but also, you know, you cut out some color until it can get used to it and establish that that's the height you're gonna keep it at. And so so that's my plan, is to set it around 2 inches and try and keep it there all fall for sure. But we're supposed to get back up in the 90s next week. And so I don't know. I mean, obviously I'm gonna work on watering and doing all that, and it's growing, so I should be all right. But that's kind of my plan, which I've never done. I've always kept it closer to 3 inches. So it'll be kind of a different little approach for myself. But yeah, actually, now that the swing set's out of there, it opens up my backyard quite a bit. And honestly, like the shape of the backyard is a perfect rectangle. So it's like, you know, I got this like notion to like, you know, like get some paint and put like a field, like, you know, some lines and some field back there or something like that, and have some fun. But we'll see. You know, your picture of the Landsy spreader and the leveling rake, you know, like I had a friend that wanted to do a full renovation. They wanted to kill off and do everything. And basically I gave him like all of my equipment. I gave him my Sun Jody Thatcher, my Landsy compost spreader, leveling rake, just, you know, pretty much everything, all the tools I got to do everything. And he was very complimentary of using the spreader and the rake as far as how much those tools helped and everything. So I thought, you know, just then when I was doing my a couple areas, I actually was just going to throw all the peat by hand. And then I was like, I got that damn thing. I might as well get it out and use it and all that. And it wasn't a huge area, but I had a leftover bag from last year. And honestly, like when I finally got it out and used it and I started rolling and how even it distributes it versus my hand, like, you know, throwing it on and trying to rake it around and stuff. Like when I put it in there and just rolled, I'm like, God damn, like this is really nice. And, you know, it made it actually very, very, very more efficient and a much easier task. So I will say, you know, if you're on the fence or if you got someone who's got one, and you can borrow it, or if you can buy one, they are a very good tool. Like I said, I loaned mine out to my buddy. I've used mine before. I know I saw Vince, the Lawngenuity. He just posted a video of doing like his whole front yard. Yeah, you could just see how smooth.
It's so smooth.
How even the application was with using that spreader. So
and you know, like even though I had like that, even though it was a small area on my side yard, like I used it for that. Like I did it, you know, I did the reel with it, and same thing. Like I literally, you know, it just made it so quick. It was so much cleaner. And so after I posted that reel, you know, last year I had done a new lawn. I'd planted a new lawn at my in-laws' house. It's like a 5,000 square foot front yard. Now that's only one half of the driveway. So on the other side of the driveway, there's another probably little area that's probably about 1,000 square feet on the other side of the driveway and close to the road. So they are doing that themselves. My mother-in-law and father-in-law are doing that themselves this year. And she saw my reel and she was like, yeah, there's no way I'm spreading all that peat moss by hand like we did last fall. I'm going to need you to bring that to me. So I actually ran it down to her at her house on last weekend, because I was like, all right, I'm done with it. Like I'll bring it down to you. She's like, yeah, because that was outlandish last year, because me and her were out there doing this for 5,000 square feet. Man, my back hurt so bad. I can't even imagine, you know, how hers was feeling it, you know, 59, 60 years old. Like,
I will say I was amazed at how compressed the peat moss is like within the bag. Like it's not like you just cut it open and pour it in the spreader. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know, like
you gotta Cobra Kai it.
yeah, like it's vacuum sealed in there pretty damn good, and it's like, you know, it's not free flowing as you try and get it out, so you got to mess with it. And I got like the large bag. I don't know what it was. Can't remember how many cubic feet. I mean, this thing weighed, I swear to God, weighed 80 pounds. You know, so I'm like holding this bag, like trying to get it in there, and like, you know, trying to like break it up and all that. And I'm like, I got to figure out a different approach for this. But yeah, but no, it made life a lot easier using that peat moss spreader. I will say that. So
What about you, Zach? What are you working on?
Well, I didn't do any overseeding this year. I still might do a little bit of a project or so, but my plan was just to, you know, as soon as it got cooler, hit the weeds and just push it, mow. And like as soon as the weather broke, I actually, like, my wife got sick, my daughter got strep throat, and I worked like 14, 15 days straight, and I got like the biggest jump I could get. Like I missed that window, and then like the lawn got overgrown, so I literally like had to mow the lawn like every day or two just to get the clippings all recycled. I don't have a bagger or nothing to bag them up. I do have a pull behind rake, but
like a
it's
sweeper.
actually
Like
I
lawn
got a sweeper. Yeah, I have a lawn sweeper, but it's actually, I ripped the bag. So
duct tape.
so I was mowing.
Problem.
So I was just like mowing. I finally got it. What'd you say?
You said you ripped the bag. I was like, yeah, common problem.
It wasn't a sack.
Yep.
You ripped the sack.
Anyway, so I finally got it. I got it all chopped up and I got it nice and clean looking. So like I still like I was like gonna overseed or something. I took my front lawn down to about 2.5 inches. You can kind of see clippings and shit laying around. I scalped it a little bit, but it'd be like if I prepped to seed it. And then from there, I kind of just did like a hard reset on it. And then, yeah, I fed it. I've just been feeding it, spoon feeding it the past 2 weeks. I also took I hit it with some 1608. I also hit it with a 1/2 pound of ammonium sulfate a week before this. This was actually yesterday. And then a week before that, I hit it with a 1/2 pound of AMS.
Jeez.
This, I took it down. I have this down to about 2 inches now. And yeah, it took a color hit on my side yard. But I mean, I'm kind of having fun messing around since I didn't seed, just doing stuff. It's kind of like
awesome. It looks great, man. It looks really good.
It's kind of like stress
brown
relief
spots, but it looks good.
When you don't have to seed. You can just kind of mess around. I don't have the one. But yeah, this is my backyard tonight. And you can see, so like there's like this little area like right here. Okay, you kind of see how it like has a different color. It's like kind of looks light. It's like a bunch of fine fescue and it's super thick, super dense, kind of thatchy. And so I think I'm gonna scalp that area down, and I got my pull behind dethatcher. I'm gonna just go through that area real hard, and it's kind of like a big square, but I'm gonna cut that square out and see what I can do with that.
Hey, whatever happened to your frisbee golf bent grass or whatever you're gonna do there? The whole project.
I was just gonna ask that. Yeah.
So I was gonna do Bermuda, and DeMay had me all hooked up, 100% hooked up. His schedule got a little finicky, and because I think he got sick. Well, he was sick for a while, and then he had it for me ready to go. And like,
was it the iron cutter?
Yeah,
that he did that field with.
Yep, he had it for me, set aside, ready to come pick up. I mean, it was like a 2-hour drive for me, but since it kind of got postponed once because he was just under the weather, then the time frame he hit me on last minute, I just couldn't go get. So but there's some like KBG and rye there. It looks real nice. Because I originally dormant seeded it with KBG and rye. So
Oh, that was the dormant seed spot. Okay.
yeah,
Do you keep that cut at like a different height or anything like that?
yeah, I do actually.
So that'd be fun just to take like a
it's
manual or just take your push mower and go out there and do like a circle or something like that and just try and stripe it like a different pattern from the entire lawn.
you can't really see the circles from here, but you can see like my diagonal stop out there. Like it looks like a different pattern, and I do have circles around that. But
where's the tee box for that hole?
well, that's the thing. That's why I have it there. Like you can throw, like my neighbor's got a fence, and we've thrown over the fence many times, but there's no gate, so you got to jump it every time. But so that spot is like the best spot where you can throw anywhere in the yard pretty much, and it's either going to go in the field. Like when the field's cut down, it's easy to go get it if you miss, or it's like the perfect spot where you can go anywhere and throw. But yeah, tonight I threw down some fossil on my front yard. I also have some 0050 sulfate of potash I put down this evening as well, just cleaning up on some inventory of bags I got laying around. And
yeah, I was gonna ask, like I was gonna bring that up in like a future episode, but you kind of hit on it. Like, does anyone else either in the spring or the fall kind of look at that like cleanup method, like, oh, I got a half bag of this, I got a half bag of that, and just start like combining stuff together, or like, you want to get it used. Like I hate having like a half a bag of fertilizer sitting around like all winter long.
Yeah.
So it's like, or like, you say, okay, there's enough in this bag to do 2,000 square foot. I'm just going to put it down this little section right here. Or you, like I said, mix it with another bag, partial bag or whatever.
No, yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. Because I had half open bags. I have some buckets full of shit that I forgot that I was like, just like made an application, had some stuff left over, and I threw it in a bucket, and I got stuff laying around. But we're gonna be having my daughter's birthday party in like less than a month, and so I'm trying to get all that shit out of there. So like I was telling my dad tonight,
are you taking her to GIE for her birthday?
What's that?
Are you gonna take her to GIE for her birthday?
No, it's before that. Before that. But yeah, I was like telling my dad tonight, hey, I have a bunch of open bags, like I'm trying to get rid of them all. I don't want to load them all out to my shed. I got most of them out in my shed, but I don't want to take a big load out there. But yeah, that's what I got going on pretty much. Just messing around, mowing and feeding.
Speaking of dads, my dad dropped a freaking stripe picture on me. Holy cow. This one's looking good.
Yeah.
Great transition.
Was he trying to one up you, or was he just saying, "Hey, Nate, what do you think?"
Well, here's the crazy part. He hasn't put down like any fertilizer since like spring, like not at all. And that's only like, I mean, that's not even like if he would take a shot to the left, hell, there's probably 2/3 more of a lawn to the left as well.
Yeah, but, that thing's looking awesome.
Is that a walker?
Yes, that's my old walker from before I moved, like two houses ago. I used to, my very first, like when I really got into striping, that's what I had. My dad actually found it for me and bought it and used it and loved it. I mean, it stripes amazing. And then he actually got a couple walkers. And then when I moved into a smaller place, not this house, but my previous house, I had basically kind of gave it back to him and said, hey, like it's too big for my property. Now he's actually he had 3 walkers. Now he's got 2. I keep telling him next time you come down, like bring one of them down. I just want to run it on my lawn and just see what it would look like. You know what I mean? But every once in a while when I go to the lake house, I'll hop on the walker and I'll mow a little bit over there. Just
his stripes are straighter than yours.
Hey, he's got that sidewalk and he just goes right off that sidewalk and just carries it right out. So good thing I taught him how to do it all.
His banana goes the opposite way.
Yeah.
Well, you know what they say, you get it from your dad, right?
Yeah, but yours is laid on its side.
But yeah, no, I mean, he's didn't really do much to it at all this year. And we were actually talking the other night kind of what to do in the fall. And hell, I told him if my lawn looked like that right now, I'd be pushing it and mowing it and making it look even crazier. But nope, looks really good. So
No, yeah. Now's the best time for lawn care, really. I mean,
yeah.
it
Season-
just sucks that I missed like 2 good weeks where like it would have been prime for me to get a jump since I wasn't seeding, could get the furt out, and I just missed that with everything going on. Like I just had a shitty 2 weeks. But we're all good now. What are you up to, Olee?
Oh, about 5'10", 235. Oh, sorry. Right this minute, man. Just got my grass seed just come in today. So looking forward to that.
Saw that.
Yeah, man. We've been itching to get the Artemis, and the Artemis is in. So looking forward to that.
Something else you're looking forward to about that?
Yeah, next week, Bruce is going to come on the show, and we're really, really looking forward to having 100 people in the chat. That's my goal. We're going to give away a 25-pound bag of Artemis and a 25-pound bag of starter fertilizer, your choice of either Winfield or Pro Pete 1111. So you'll have a choice of which bag you want. The Artemis is all Mountain View cultivars, and it is the latest generation, that starts with the G, and the G stands for gray leaf spot, as far as resistance, not so it's a newer generation. It's like the latest and greatest.
That's
and
awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's got 4 of the top scoring cultivars, and so Bruce is going to talk next week, and I've been talking with him for almost a year. He has taught me a ton. I mean, a ton of stuff, just as far as reading the tag, the difference in, your different types of certification. And then all of the Winfield grass seed is not coated. That's the wrong word. The word is treated, because coated, adds mass, and then you lose how much weight of seeds in the bag. So this is not coated. That's the wrong word. The word is treated. They treat it with that PGS, and just helps you far as getting a jump start. Just gives you a better seed as far as getting going, establishing roots, just getting things going, off the ground, getting it moving. So
they got cytokins and gibberellic acid and some other type of acid I'm not familiar with, but pretty much like biostimulant stuff. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yep, get things moving, get things coming together, get it thick.
You got the Avenger 3.
Spider.
Oh, okay, there you go. The titanium.
See, that's the G.
Yep. The Dynamite GL8. Nice. That's
Yes,
cool.
sir. Yep. And it's a 4-way. It's a 4-way blend instead of, most of your common stuff is a 3-way blend.
Yeah.
No, so it gives you another cultivar, and in the thing behind that is that you're giving more cultivars. That way, if one of them is, possibly get a certain fungus or disease,
susceptible.
I can't say that. So say it for me. I couldn't spell it neither, so
I can't either.
Well, I'll just tell you straight up. But
anyway, I can say it. I can't spell it, but I'll say it all day long. That's awesome. So you guys, you heard it here, live chat. Everybody listening on the playback, you heard it here. Next week, Winfield's coming on. They're giving away seed and fertilizer, but they want to see 100 people in that chat. So we gotta pump them up. Tell your friends. Once we post up the episode card, screenshot that thing, post it around, spread it like wildfire, or spread it like grass seed.
There you go.
And let's see if we can get them 100 people in the live chat, because that's big. I mean, listen, we've been talking about it, how expensive seed is right now. That's a hell of a giveaway. For them to give away a whole damn 25 pounds of seed is pretty awesome.
Yep. And plus, like I say, he'll be sharing a bunch of knowledge on, how it's scored, how they do the testing. And he's actually he has made a software, I guess is what you'd call it, to where he can score. He can take all the trials and put it in there, hit a button, and it tells you, your top ranks instead of trying to go through and say, oh, this one's drought tolerant 7. This one's, traffic 6. The next one's gray leaf spot 5. That's how they rate them off of numbers instead of sitting there trying to look at all these numbers and pick you out the top performing cultivars. He's actually got a program where it just calculates it. So,
that's pretty
neat.
That's pretty rad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to hear more about that, like how he developed that and what that's looking at. That's pretty awesome.
Yep.
So we're going to learn about some seed. Somebody's going to get some seed.
Yes, sir.
I like it.
Yep.
Okay.
No pearl necklaces, just grass seed.
Grass seeds.
Yeah, that's a good giveaway. That's a lot of money. It's like close to 200.
Yep. With shipping and everything, basically looking at, you'd spend $200. So, and then you'll have your choice of, like I say, the Winfield style starter fertilizer that's designed to be melted and sprayed, or the granular Pro-Pete 1111 if you don't want to, apply it liquid. So, Nate, look up.
I don't know what's up.
I always catch hell for looking down, so I got to get on to somebody.
I was talking to a drunk lawn guy. He's giving me hell for putting his bare ass online.
Hey, he put it out in the open.
Somebody said that to me last week in the live chat. They were like, "Why is this guy always looking down?" I'm like, "Because my computer is here. It's a Zoom call. I'm looking at you guys.
I'm reading my phone. I guess I need it planted up here.
Yeah, there you go.
Mine's like literally, I try my best.
Yeah,
but if you want to keep up the chat and everything that's going on, you got to kind of
you gotta look.
Yep.
Nobody's here to have me look at them. I mean, come on. You want me to look at you
the
whole time? I mean, nobody wants.
I know Bill didn't make it tonight, but Zach and I don't know if you got any of his pictures.
Yeah.
But,
Yep.
looks like we can kind of walk through what we've seen him doing or what we've talked about with him. But he's behind kind of me, in relationship to geographical. He's south though, probably. I bet 4 to 6 hours. He's probably south of me. Yeah, probably 6 hours south of me. And so I think he's got probably a good 2 to 4 weeks, I bet, on me. So kind of, I think he's getting into the phase right now where he's starting to lower his height of cut. He's fighting weeds, doing some of that. But I think you'll see him probably here in the next week or two getting his aeration done. And
that's some thick dark blue dye.
I know. There's one picture he had sent us.
That's gonna stain that.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I was like,
it'll be there for a couple of weeks.
Bright blue.
Shit.
It looks like he used the whole. I mean, that's more blue than like Gatorade. You know what I mean?
Look at that.
Somebody's gonna have to send this man out a power washer.
Yeah, that one. That's one I was gonna tell you to put up. It is. I mean,
that's pretty sweet though.
Yeah.
That's like darker than antifreeze, like straight up antifreeze.
That is like Gatorade. That's like blue Gatorade.
Yeah.
Look at that. Fuck the fence.
Just painting those suckers, man.
No doubt.
But yeah, I mean, so Bill's in his new house. I mean, he's still whipping that lawn into shape, right? He's going around killing off all these big weeds and stuff that and he's been working a little here and a little there, but it's that time for him to really try to nuke all that crap out of the sides and fence lines and curb lines, and he's good at that shit, man, because he did it in his last house, his rental house. He made that place pop. So
he did his own house and he did his rental, and now he's doing this one.
Yeah, true. That rental was crazy. He turned that thing around.
But yeah, so he's, like I said, and obviously, he's very, very good at content and all that. So he's going to be making good content along the whole process. But yeah, I'm excited to see like what his lawn's going to look like. And what he's got going on, because he's just getting into his season of doing everything. We're in the waiting phase right now, waiting for all that just to pop and fill in, and he's getting ready to get after it.
So this is Brian.
Yeah.
There it is, the residential MVP tool. Man,
my understanding is these things are built or based out of Salisbury, North Carolina.
Sunjo, or just that model of dethatcher?
Sunjo.
Really?
They might be. I know that they like all of their like corporate offices and stuff are here by me. They're like right down the street from where I'm at. For work.
I drove by a place the other day and it was Sunjo. And I'm gonna stop in there and just see what they got going on.
Oh, heck yeah. I know like their corporate offices, like with their sales and like their social media, marketing guy, like they're in New Jersey. I know they got a huge warehouse in North Jersey too, but I wouldn't be surprised if they got spots all over the place, because they got a lot of products.
Mm-hmm.
But
he's flat bringing it out.
Hell yeah.
That's a shit ton of product. He's pulling up a lot.
That's what mine looked like last year.
Yeah.
In certain spots in my backyard, if I like where I was zooming in earlier, it's gonna look like this. Like I using like a hand rake, I'm getting clumps up like that. So, but this is those some straight dethatch lines.
Stripes.
But I had that last year when I did my front yard last fall. I had straight up the same amount. Like it was outlandish, the amount of crap that I pulled out of my yard last year. Not nearly as bad this year, but
it's crazy I hate to say it, but it's a cheap tool. I mean, it's all plastic. The tine mechanism is actually pretty nice, how it's designed and everything. But if you were lucky enough to pick one of those up on that Walmart deal where it was for a few hours, it ran for like $50. I mean, it's a steal of a product. You know what I mean?
I think I paid like, I paid like full freight for mine like 3 years ago. It was like whatever, 120 or something on Amazon. But like even that, I mean, for the amount of times that I've used it, and my neighbor uses it all the time. I've said it before, man. I'm not going to repeat myself. Even if you're paying full freight for that thing, I think it's totally worth it. And if you can find them, if you get one of those deals, I would say like snatch that thing up. If you see it for sub $100, you get that $50-$60 deal, whatever it was.
Yeah.
No brainer.
Yeah, it was $49.99 at Walmart. And then like I was posting, telling everyone about it, and then like 2 hours later, people were like, "Where's the deal? Where's the deal?" And it was like $250. It was like someone messed up or something. But I know a lot of people took advantage of that. And like I said, I mean, even the fact that it comes with like a different the Scarifier, it comes with like almost like a verticutter. So it has different attachments, and it's a great little tool. I'm just glad I didn't have to do the softball field with that thing, because that would have taken a long ass time.
Oh gosh.
God. So
you had to have 9 extension cords back to back,
Yeah, exactly.
Just carry a generator beside of you.
Yeah. But no, it's a good tool if you're on the fence about buying one. I mean, cheap as far as a couple $100 versus probably buying a bigger professional one for a couple thousand or something. But it definitely does the task, you know what I mean? So definitely a good product.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And I mean, I don't know, I'm excited to see what Brian's lawn does. Because I like Brian's lawn, man. So I'm excited to see where he, how his turns out.
So do y'all push those things forward when you're using them? Because it looks like you just pull it back and you just keep pulling back to the sidewalk, and that way you'd have it all raked in a pile to get rid of it.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of pulls, it kind of pulls itself. I mean, because it's digging in, man, and it's going. I mean, it kind of pulls itself a little bit, but it's pretty minimal effort to give it that extra little push to keep it moving. I mean, it comes with this like little bag in the back, but I've never seen anybody use it. I sure should never have.
I was just gonna say, That is one thing I will say. Take that bag and just throw it in the garbage because it is worthless.
Get rid
Do you
of
have one,
that
Nate?
thing.
I have one. Yeah, I got one for $50 from
Oh, you
Walmart.
did? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's one advantage to getting up and getting on the road for work at like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, because someone had posted it, and right away in the morning I pulled it up and ordered it, and by like 8 o'clock that deal was gone. So
Just the cord, man. The cord looks like it sucks ass.
Yeah, it is a pain in the butt.
It
I would
is,
like
but-
to get my hands on one of those because I know Girls Lawn has one. The battery they came out with a battery powered one, and I know PJ's got one, and I think a couple other people do too. But they have a battery operated one now, so I'd be interested to see how long that battery life is, and if it put them side by side and see how they do. I'd imagine it's probably every bit as good without the hassle.
I've
of the
actually only
cord.
seen the battery one. I didn't even know they made a corded one till now.
Oh, okay. Well,
The only thing with the batteries is you're going to pay for the battery when you buy it, and so your cost is going to probably double at least, and half of that
Mhm.
is just the battery. And so that, I mean, I will say that that's why it is $100-$150, because you're not paying for the battery.
Yeah,
I'd be surprised
gotcha.
if you can get one in the battery function for under like 300.
Mm.
Because I said, and I don't know if they're 40-volt or what they are, but I mean, I actually just purchased, but I've been in the market just kind of looking around for like a new string trimmer, and I ended up buying a battery one just because I was sick and tired of dealing with my gas one. When I would tip it over and edge with it, it would kill it. It would like die, like it wasn't getting enough fuel. So I was like, I'm just gonna go with battery. And so I was kind of investigating those quite a bit. And you had the with or without kind of options on a lot of them for the battery, and those batteries are like $120 is usually what I was seeing just for like a 40-volt battery.
Hmm.
So
The
Yeah, I
weed
have
whacker, the one weed whacker that I like, I have the Ego string trimmer, and I love it. Like, it's great. But my father-in-law just got the Toro one. And that thing is freaking badass, man. And the other thing that's cool about it is you can actually disconnect so if you're in the market for a battery operated string trimmer, listen up. This is my father-in-law told me this last weekend. If you're in the market for one, you can disconnect the trimmer head off of it, and it's a direct attachment to any of the Ryobi attachments. Because he
for
had
like the edger and all that.
yeah, he had a Ryobi, gas powered one, and that thing crapped the bed, and he was getting kind of tired of it. He'd had it for a number of years, but he can put all of his attachments that he had for his Ryobi onto the Toro one. So he's got like this big old like UFO looking leaf blower thing to like blow the sidewalks off. He's got the edger. He's got, obviously the string trimmer head. He's got the little mini chainsaw. Like, he's got all these attachments, right? But they all are direct fit onto the Toro 60-volt string trimmer. So if you have any of those Ryobi attachments from Ryobi gas powered weed whacker that shit the bed on you, little tidbit my father-in-law told me about last weekend, and I was like, oh, that's a win right there. He had all these attachments. He's like, what the hell, so he started looking to see if there was anything out there that could fit the bill, and he was like, works just fine. So he's showing me. It's pretty cool.
What's this, Olee?
There we are. Lost some audio there for a minute.
Yeah. Sorry. That's my old boy. That almost hurts. That's an Aerovator by First Products. And that deal there is wonderful when you have dry, compacted soil, because the solid tines go in the ground. And as it goes in the ground, it's rolling. That thing is just ripping left to right. So it fractures the soil. And that thing is by far the best whenever you're overseeding or seeding from bare dirt. if it is dry and compacted. Now, if it's wet, it's pointless because it just makes a sloppy hole is the only way I know to subscribe or to say it. But so I ended up with 2 different setups because the first year that I went to overseed here myself, I priced one of these and I was like, there's no way I'm paying for that. There's no way I'm doing that. So I bought a core plugger, but then the ground was so daggone hard, you couldn't even pull a core. So the second year I went and bought this. Well, then it rained all year. So then I had to use the core plugger. So now I have one of each, and that way, depending on how much moisture is in the ground, depends on, which way I roll.
Has anyone ever asked to have you come over and do their property with the aerator? Because that's it's not very common. I mean, honestly, if someone had one around here, I'd probably hire it out and have them come do my yard. Because with all the clay and everything I got, I'd like to get in some of those compacted areas and rattle the hell out of it.
Yeah, and I wouldn't mind helping some people, but I mean, I got so much going on all the time. There's no time between kids and work and playing out here in the yard. And so, but that's the core plugger. So if you got some good moisture in the ground, and that one is pretty unique because it has 2 different depths. Like all the spoons are not the same length. And, because you really don't want the grass seed to fall in a 4-inch hole and germinate, because I don't know that it would ever, survive as a plant being 4 inches below grade. So that one has different length spoons. So you get possibly an 1.5-inch hole, and then a 2-inch hole, and then a 3-inch hole. So it's as it's rolling, it's got different depths of cores it's pulling. And I like that one.
It's a lot of holes. Holes.
A lot of holes. Yeah.
So how deep does it go?
It can pull up to a 3.5-inch core. It can. How
deep do you normally go?
Personally, or is this machine?
Machine.
It all depends on how dry the ground is. We've gotten a good bit of rain this weekend, and I think I'm gonna get. I had planned on doing everything in October. Normally, I do everything in October, but the second week of October, we're going to Mexico for a week. Finally getting a honeymoon, and so we're going to Mexico the second week of October, and then whenever we fly back, the next day, I'm going to be driving to Louisville to see y'all. And when I return, it'll be my birthday. So I think I'm going to try to start next week and go ahead and get holes poked, grass seed down, get things rocking before I ever go out of town. So
true. That's going to be, you're going to go a week without mowing, and then come
2
back
weeks,
another
2
week.
weeks.
Oh, shoot.
You're not going to mow in between Mexico and GIE?
I will try if it's possible. Yes, sir. Yeah.
I guess you have to rein in.
Yeah.
Shit. That's what happened to me too. And my big hiatus for a minute.
Yeah. And right now, I mean, things are jumping right now. We're not as cool. And that's an older picture, but that thing will flat stripe.
Yeah, that's what Ryan just sent me a picture with that.
Mm-hmm.
How wide is it?
That's 60 inches. And I think who you're talking about, he has an 80-inch model.
Yeah.
And that is wicked. If I had it to do over with, I would have got the 80-inch model with the seed box. But when I started pricing it and what I was going on, I was like, God almighty. But man, they're stupid. Like the way that everything is right now in the world, these things are, I mean, you'll easily spend 10 grand before you even know it. They're stupid expensive. But,
and you got to have hydraulic lines, right, for it?
Not for this. No, sir. It just runs off a PTO.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I'd love to have one like 80-inch wide and could run it with my cab tractor and just cover more ground, because that's 60 inches and my mower is 60 inches. And what I hate is it's like everything is the same width. So I have to straddle, old tire marks. Yeah. That's wicked. That's an 80-inch with the roller.
Yep.
I didn't have a roller to begin with. I got a roller now. And the roller, you'll flat stripe some stuff. That's about like my actual roller, the green roller. Man, that thing will lay stripes like nobody's business.
Have you ever put that roller just on your tractor and just laid stripes with it for the hell of it?
Not for the heck of it, but it's 90 inches wide. I'll send you a picture of it.
So when I was doing the
Whoa.
softball field, we were, after I got everything done, I found that roller was like sitting over against a building, and I saw it, and I'm like, is there any way that we can get that hooked up? And he's like, oh yeah, it's got a hitch and everything. And I'm like, perfect. So I'm like, let's get that thing out. And yeah, I was actually thinking, I'm like, damn, that might not be a bad idea. Just take that sucker and like stripe the softball field with it. You know what I mean? That actually worked really.
It will. It'll flat do it, especially if
really
it's
good.
You can put water in it.
No, this was solid, like concrete. Like it was solid steel. There's no water ports or anything like that. It was just heavy as can be.
Well, it's getting late, fellas, and lawn of the week. So this week's lawn of the week, I gotta be honest with you, y'all. We dropped the ball, and we don't have any pictures for you. But I would suggest that you all go on Instagram and follow Yimbrok, YIMBROK. He's got some outlandish stripes that were posted the other day and 3 days ago. And that's our KOTG lawn of the week. So we're going to shoot him a message, or, I don't see him in the chat or anything, but I'll tell you what.
Brock Cummings.
Brock Cummings. Yep. Yimbrok on Ben Cummings.
Oh, what did I say?
Brock. Yeah. Ben Cummings, Yim, YIMBROK. Go give him a follow on Instagram. He's got some sick trucks and awesome lawn. So we're going to reach out to him. Sorry, we don't have any pictures for y'all, but you guys all got Instagram. So go check him out, because I think he's worth follow.
I agree. Zach, you pulling it up?
Oh, he
There
does
it
have.
is.
All right. Zach's got it. Never mind. Look at that thing.
Laser
now.
beams. That is definitely a riding lawnmower right there.
You think?
Oh yeah. I was tired. I mean, that
As far as zero turn or lawn tractor.
I would say zero turn.
Oh, yeah.
My guess is Skag. If I had to guess, I would guess a Skag. But I don't know. Skag or John Deere are my two guesses.
It should be a Ferris.
I don't think so.
Probably not.
I think he's pushing.
No.
No.
You're
Not with
fucking
them.
high.
Not with them fat tire tracks. No, sir.
No way.
He's got a Ferris.
Is
he's
it?
right there. He's got a Ferris. I just double checked on his page. Yep.
Yeah.
Dang.
Got a Ferris
Nice.
zero turn.
Nice.
Dang.
It's
Looks
like what, 42-inch?
52. I don't know.
42, 48, somewhere.
Yeah.
Probably.
Apparently just got it. He had a John Deere rider, it looks like, at one point. But that's going back a couple years. But most recent mower picture is of a Ferris. So
Nice.
yeah, man.
That's what you need, Nate.
What, a Ferris or just a rider?
Rider or a zero turn.
Well, like I said, I used to have. My dad's got my old walker, but I don't know. I've thought about it. I like kind of walking and pushing, just the nostalgia of it. But I have when I was at the state fair, they had some used models, and I was definitely eyeing the hell out of them just to see what kind of price they were. And I was like, I don't know, but I don't know. I got my eyes on another project that's gonna maybe tie up some cash. So I don't know. Just so I got to be smart with what I'm doing right now, because I got something I've had my eyes set on for a couple years. It's not
project car.
It's not irrigation. Damn it!
I smell a project car. I smell a project car coming.
More like a project truck, maybe. So
I like it.
Okay, I sent it to Olee. He's seen it. White one, that kind of tannish, light tan one.
Wait, what are you
like-
talking about?
Nothing.
It's definitely not that.
Project truck. All right. Well,
So,
I'm getting.
anyways.
I'm thinking we got to take it down.
Yeah.
Getting late.
It's that time.
I think
Send
so.
her off.
Next Tuesday, let's see. 100 people in the chat.
Let's try. Let's try to do it big for Winfield. They're coming through with a big time giveaway. So let's try to pump them up and get 100 people in the live chat.
Maybe if we get 100, we'll do some more giveaways with some other stuff we got stashed away.
Yeah, I think we all
Mhm.
got a couple of things laying around. Maybe we can put something else together.
It's true.
So, all right. Send you off with Go Hawks, but we're playing like shit, and so I'm not even gonna say it this week. So
Wow.
we're dog garbage right now.
On that note,
All right.
see you next
Right.
week.